What's going on YouTube? This is LA Prepper, and today we're going to talk about my top secret manufacturing endeavor, something I was trying to build a little bit of hype for, but I have failed miserably. So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Man, being in PR is tough. Making a video is easy, but all the brand promotion and SEO and cross-platform marketing. I mean, have you even considered your tag words recently? Have you gone onto AdWords? Have you ranked? Do you know what the monthly search rate is of your tag words? I sure as hell don't. And I don't know if I'm ever going to care that much because I'd rather be making than clicking away on the computer, that's for sure. What have we been making recently? What is this? In homage to my completely failed attempt to build hype for my top secret manufacturing project, who I should note that one of my subscribers, and shame on me, Steve Foco, he actually guessed it. Correct. Didn't really surprise me that someone would guess it based on the fat clues that I was dropping, but I'm nevertheless delighted that at least one person guessed right. In fact, Steve, for you guessing right, I really should. If you need anything 3D printed, Steve, give me a holler. I'll give you the only one to play the game discount on it. Like maybe I'll just send the thing to you. If it's not that big, it's not that big of a deal, right? So, anyways, we've been doing some 3D printing. This is a raft. This is what this gets printed on. For example, what's this? What is this? Well, I'll give you a clue. Has to do with this. So, this was version 1.0. Ooh, look at that belt clip. You saying LA Prepper designed this from scratch? What kind of craziness is that? Yeah, if you can believe it. This ugly sheath. I know it's ugly. I could have put some like little fancy curves in here or something, I suppose. Maybe I could have done like a little reveal here, like this thing has a reveal. In fact, now that I think about it, matching a reveal here like that would be kind of a nice stylistic touch. Structurally, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Printing wise, it would make it there would be some supports in here that might get a little funny. But anyways, let's focus. Let's focus on results. Okay, so what happens when we put the sheath in? Are we going to break it? I mean, how strong is that plastic? It's bending. What's going to happen? Oh, it stopped. Okay. So, somewhat functional little sheath. It does tend to hold it. It's a good start. It's a little bit tricky to get out. That's kind of a problem. In fact, I can't. My nails aren't even that short right now, and I can't. I got to use a tool to get my tool out, and you never want to have to use a tool to use your tool. Anyways. So, if we put it in the other way, what happens? Ooh, interesting. Similar result, I believe. In fact, yeah, see, because we're hitting the lip, our little stop lip. Is it the same? Yeah, it's the same because we're hitting the hinge, and the hinge is the same height. Yeah, from center though? Well, anyways. This turned out not to be good, not so much because of the part where that holds the Leatherman, although I did want to adjust that, but I was about 1 millimeter short right there. See that? I need about another millimeter right there. It was just not quite. We're almost there, 0.5 millimeter, right? Millimeter, 0.5 millimeter. I also wasn't 100% sure how I felt about the belt clip. It's relatively strong. I'm sure I could break it if I wanted to. I don't want to break it. I might do some strength testing on this stuff in the future, but this is version 1. We're already at 4.5 minutes, so I gotta move along. Version 2 shrunk a little bit, but we have a smaller design, so it saves a little bit of material. It's much faster to build. Not much faster. I mean, this thing took about... Actually, I think this thing did take like 3 hours. The raft was thick. It was 30% infill. It took forever. This one took about 2 hours. Maybe 2 hours and 10 minutes. Real nice fit. because I opened up the front here, as you can tell, a little easier to pull out. It actually does go in both ways. So if you put it tweezers in, you get a deeper, it holds it down a little further. If you put it the other way, it actually holds it a little higher, kind of incidentally that it happens to work like this and catch nicely right on the hinge down there. So, only problem with this one is the belt loop, which although it's enclosed and it's much, much stronger, I mean, I'm sure, I'm actually not even, I don't really want to break it. I kind of want to sell it. It's pretty strong. Maybe I can't break it. Maybe it wouldn't even break if it probably would break if I squeezed it hard enough, but it's pretty strong anyways. Strong enough to resist my weak handyman hands. So, version 2, not bad. Belt hole needs to be a little bit bigger, but smaller, leaner, and meaner. And of course, still greener. Now, version number 3. Still hideous as hell. You know, so it couldn't, I don't think I could have made it more boxy if I tried, right? But I kind of like it. It's neo-cubism. We'll call it neo-cubist design, right? I don't even know if that's a term, but it is now. Belt hole, much bigger. The front, still essentially the same design. We have the travel mode, where it's down a little further. Very, very secure. And you can pop it out and put it in upside down, so to speak, tweezers out, and you get the normal, more sort of active use mode, where a little easier to grab, still nice and secure. So, in conclusion, this was the surprise. I am now in possession of a fantastic machine that can make things out of plastic like this. And since we were talking about the belt real quick, I will give you the belt demonstration. You will see it fits very nicely on the belt. It's quite a snug fit. I might have 1.5 millimeters there, maybe a couple millimeters, and thickness wise, we are very, very snug. In fact, we're so snug that if I squeeze, I can kind of give it a little resistance. So, what does this mean for LA Prepper? What does it mean for prepping? What does it mean for you, the viewer? Well, it means a lot of things. It means I can make anything that I want out of plastic as long as it's about 4 inches by 4 inches. And since my multi-tool has a ruler on it, what? Yes, my multi-tool has a ruler on it in centimeters and inches. Is that not the funniest thing you've ever saw? I don't know if all Leathermans do, maybe. But let's see here. 1, 2, and 3 are kind of hard to tell. You can't really, don't worry about 2 and 3 inches. They're just kind of like around here somewhere. But 4 inches is right there. So here's a pen for scale. So I can print something about 4 inches by 4 inches. Now keep in mind, if I print something like if I printed this mouse out of mostly solid plastic, it would take kind of a while. If I printed it at 20% infill, maybe not that much. But the bottom line is, I have now added to my current and potential future skills list of things that I can contribute to my local community and the community at large, completely custom built things. Now, of course, I can print anything online. I can just download a file and print it. But that's not where I personally see the magic. I personally see the magic from being able to make things completely how I want them. For example, what if all the Leatherman sheaths online all had a belt clip, and you're tired of a belt clip, you break belt clips for whatever reason, you just can't handle things that have open-ended clips like this, and you see this closed-ended design, you're like, wow, why didn't I think of that? I should have customized I should have just learned how to do 3D CAD and design my own sheath, right? But seriously, this is going to open up, I think, just a whole new world of possibilities as far as prepping gear, being self-sufficient, providing perhaps a little bit of extra income for me in creating things that are useful to the world. Still haven't decided exactly how much to price these at. I'm thinking, you know, a sort of a leather sheath goes for about $10, so I'm probably thinking around 5 to like 750. Probably more like 750. Maybe if I think shipping's going to have to be separate because depending on where you live, it's really like a big difference on something this small. Fortunately, it's relatively light, so it shouldn't be a big deal to ship, and it wouldn't need a lot of protection. So probably only $2 or $3 to ship, maybe less than that. But anyways, if you want one of these, I would be more than happy. I don't know if I can give all of them away. I could probably give one away, but I don't think I could give all of them away, only because I have spent some time and energy into it. And although this isn't a business venture in the sense that it's like all my eggs are in this basket, the machine did cost money and the filament does cost money, and my time in the very, very near future, and even in the present, I suppose, does have value. So but look, I'm not out there to go gouging anyone's wallet. So if somebody already got the free one and you want one of these and you're looking for a really good discount, I will keep that in mind, and I promise that you will still have money for your Starbucks after the credit card charge goes through for this little guy. If you have anything that you'd like me to print or design or any ideas, I would love to see them, not only because you might think it's a good idea, but other people might think it's a cool idea too, right? And not everything has to be for profit. Of course, the whole Internet of Thing community is all about sharing these designs and sharing these stuff. And you might ask, well, what about you, LA Prepper? Are you going to share this design? And to be honest, I already did. Just holding this up in front of the camera, anyone with a modicum of 3D printing skills can say, oh, okay, he made a box, he made that cut, he made that cut, he made that cut, he rounded the edges, he made a little lip, and then he hit print, which is basically true. That's kind of the short version of it, not the how many hours it took me to design this one, and then to modify it to get this one, and then to modify it to be this one, all while trying to keep the printer settings copacetic. So that's where things like these rafts come in. These rafts make all the difference. All right, so we've covered a lot of stuff in this video, and I know it's going to come as a surprise, and I know it's going to be somewhat tenuous as it relates to the world of prepping, but you just watch, YouTube. You watch. I'm going to make the tenuous connection between 3D printing and prepping, and it's going to be a marvel to behold. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, keep prepping, and keep making.